Okay, so let's resume from where we left. We left from the reflective silence when. So, what happens is when other party. Where this? Something of reveal pause before. Okay, it means that we were at the reflective silence when other party reveal something, tell you something. Okay, yeah, you have to. I mean that they tell about something about himself, their need, their restrictions. You have to pause a little bit and then speak. So that's the point where we left. Okay, so let's resume.
Hold the silence. This can create a subtle pressure that nudges the other party toward agreement or concession. The silence communicates that you're confident in your position and waiting for their response. It also allows you to observe their body language and emotional reactions, which are
Excellent.
vital cues in negotiation. Another technique Castle introduces is
Reflective.
the reflective silence. When the other party says something important or revealing, pause briefly before responding. This shows you're thoughtfully considering their words and respects their input. It fosters rapport and encourages further openness. Reflective silence also helps you avoid reactive responses that
What he
for
said?
another technique Castle introduces is the reflective silence. When the other party says something important or revealing, pause briefly before responding. This shows you're thoughtfully considering their words
Yeah.
and respects.
Even we are not thoughtfully considering their words, but that pause going to give that perception. So yeah, it gives perception of giving thought on their say. So they feel good about it, and yeah, it will help us to get the deal done.
Their input. It fosters rapport and encourages further openness. Reflective silence also helps you avoid reactive responses that could undermine your position.
Yeah, that's
Castle
one more thing, that it will help us to not be reactive. If we are going to pause, then it will help us to process what they say, and then we can then devise our next say accordingly. So yeah, that's the another part which is good, that it help us to not be reactive. Okay, so yep.
warns against overusing silence, which can be perceived as cold or manipulative. The goal is to balance silence with engaged listening and thoughtful responses. Silence should be used deliberately, not awkwardly. He recommends practicing silence in everyday conversations to become comfortable with it and to notice its effects. The chapter also explores how cultural differences. The goal is to balance silence with engaged listening and thoughtful responses. Silence should be used deliberately.
What?
Reflective silence also
Okay,
helps you avoid reactive
yeah, that's
responses
the
that
point.
could undermine your position.
Mm.
Castle warns against overusing silence, which can be
uh,
perceived as cold or manipulative.
yep.
The
Don't overuse it, because it can be backfire on you. uh, don't use it over, as it can backfire as manipulative, or what this is, manipulative, and you say, or like mm, what he said, manipulative and a code. Yep.
goal is to balance silence with engaged listening and thoughtful responses.
Yeah, so it is silence, uh, goal of silence is to engage in listening and thoughtful responses.
Silence should be used deliberately, not awkwardly. He recommends practicing silence in
Mhm.
everyday conversations to become comfortable with it.
So use it deliberately, not not awkwardly. Okay, this is the thing we have to know. Okay.
And to notice its effects.
Hmm.
The chapter also explores how
Practice.
cultural differences impact the use of silence.
Hmm.
In some cultures, long pauses are normal and
Culture
expected,
difference.
while in others, they may cause discomfort. Castle advises
Uh, long or short pauses have different effects.
negotiators to be mindful of cultural context and adjust their use of silence accordingly. Understanding these nuances can deepen trust and prevent misunderstandings. Castle shares compelling stories, silence accordingly. Understanding these nuances can deepen trust and prevent misunderstandings. Castle shares compelling stories of negotiators who won deals by simply holding their silence and letting the other party fill the void. One example involves a sale. Their
What?
nuances can deepen trust and prevent misunderstandings.
Huh.
Castle shares compelling stories of negotiators.
So yeah, you have to know. Uh, keep the cultural perspective of silence in mind. Okay, so it can avoid. Oh my gosh, my I think so. It is. I got my book, and I think so. However, one page I have. It can avoid misunderstanding.
Who won deals by simply holding their silence and letting the other party fill the void. One example involves a sales
So it's
negotiation.
more about
There's compelling stories of negotiators who won deals by simply holding their silence.
so you can won deals is by holding silence as other party reveal.
And letting the other party fill the void. One example involves a sales negotiation
Fill
where the buyer initially resisted the price. Instead of responding immediately,
Okay.
Instead of responding immediately, the seller paused and stayed silent, prompting the buyer to confess they had budget flexibility they hadn't mentioned before. This revelation changed the negotiation.
Okay. So what happened is that they and there is an story buyer reject price, seller uh, paused. Okay, then buyer reveal uh, budget flexibility. So might be they can say that okay, I am unable to give this. First of all, they say, oh no, this $1,000 are not the worth of this one. I am unable to pay. Then you remain silent and you let them process what they say, and they might come up with a I am unable to give the 1,000 at once, but what we can do, we can make it in three times payment over a month. So it can happen. That's my budget flexibility. So you can get this in understanding about the various um, nuances uh, which they haven't revealed earlier. So yep. However, so we will resume it after break. Okay. So yep, stay tuned.